एक आधी घटना होती है, दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है, उसको सुधारना चाहिए। पर घटना होने के बाद आप सब लोग कहेंगे कि ये बंद कर दो, बस में हुआ तो बस बंद कर दो, रेलवे हुआ तो रेलवे बंद कर दो, प्लेन में हुआ तो प्लेन बंद कर दो, तो इस प्रकार से लोगों को तकलीफ होगी।
So we're talking about the ban and whether it's legitimate or not. Also joining us, we have Simar Duggal. She is, of course, a designer, a former model, well-known face here in Delhi, and Vedant Verma, a Supreme Court lawyer, joining us here in the capital. Simar, I believe you've used Uber cabs quite a lot, and you're kind of disturbed about the way the government has banned it.
Yes, definitely. I think I am against any ban that further curtails the freedom of women in my city. It's like saying, you know, private buses have to be banned because there was a rape there. It's like saying short skirts have to be banned because then women are asking for it. It's almost, to me, an equivalent. I have used this service and I've been happy, but it's very chilling for me today to feel unsafe, where I was feeling safe, say, last month. It's scary, I have to say.
So, Simar, I wanted to ask you, when you hear that they weren't really sticking to, I understand, but when you hear that they weren't sticking to regulations, that they actually hired someone who was out on trial on another rape case, had been involved in two more actually, how do you think, what kind of penalties should they face, this company, for not doing any checks and making women like you and me vulnerable?
No, actually, I'm sorry, I don't agree. I don't think we should look at the company. I think we're looking at the wrong place, as usual, because right now we need heads to roll, and Uber is the obvious choice. I think we have to look at the mindset that allows someone like Shiv Kumar Yadav, who is a repeat offender, to feel that he can actually again trick the system and go ahead and do something for which he was acquitted 3 years ago. If it wasn't for the Nirbhay case, which I think was a watershed case, I don't even think we would be having this discussion today. I think it would be yet another rape, and it would be in the papers today and out. I think because of that case in 2012, it brings to light what has happened just 1 year before, that this man can actually think that he can do this. I don't think we should blame the company here. I think we have to blame the man.
Okay, and you know what's interesting is that this kind of thing that you're saying, that you don't deserve, you don't think at all that the company should be banned, is something perhaps, Mr. R.P. Singh, we see in the government as well. Today, we saw a statement first by the Home Minister saying ban, and then we see the Transport Minister, Mr. Gadkari, saying something, you know, like what we're hearing Simar Duggal saying. Do you think the government is divided, Mr. Singh?
No, government is not divided on this. And firstly, this ban has been done by the Delhi government, the Delhi Transport Department. And ban is because there was no proper permit for this taxi service to run in city. They were just running on an application. And this company has a background in other countries also, similar sort of background. So later on, okay, advisory has been sent by the central government to other states to ban all such services which are on application, phone application. So it's not a ban by the central government. Ban is strictly by the Delhi government and by the state.
But the central government has passed it on to...
passed on the advisory to other states, saying
which
that...
Which is like saying that they endorse the ban, right?
Obviously, okay, if I say they endorse the ban because there is no law to regulate. Let me put it like this. The e-rickshaw which run on city, there was a ban on this by a high court saying that there's no law, there's no regulation for that.
Okay.
No, there's a law which will come and then probably e-rickshaw will start flying. Similarly, these all sort of services have to be abide by some law and they have to come under some law. And that's the reason that guy who was driving this taxi, his credentials were not verified. They were not sent to police for verification. He just produced a paper saying that I have a paper, so that was taken for granted. So if there is some regulation for all such services, then obviously police will verify them.
But don't you think, along with the fact that they messed up, that the transport department too had a responsibility to check on them?
I'm saying tomorrow...
So what action are you taking against the transport department?
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. It's something like e-rickshaw. E-rickshaw started flying in Delhi. No one has checked on this and it started working, it started flying in Delhi. Once it was thought it's wrong, I mean, any accident can happen. After that, there's a plan to get a complete law enforced some lessons to be given to the e-rickshaw guys. It's something like which has happened, and such companies are known. There are 10,000 applications, like there are applications which are helping you to buy and sell material.
Okay.
There's no law on this, and recently there's a very big case on that. There's a very big classic case on that.
I think we're digressing there, but I just wanted to tell you how a lot of people, Simar Duggal over there of course disagreed, but a lot of women over here seem to have two views. You think there should be a ban, right? Why?
Because if one case happened in Delhi, it not mean it will happen with every girl by every transportation system.
Why do you like these cab companies?
I don't like cab companies.
I mean, does it make your life a lot more convenient?
Yeah.
How? Tell me.
Because a office going girl is going with a cab, it will easy her life.
Okay. But you support it, even though you use them a lot.
Yeah.
You support the ban. Why is that?
Because I shared my one experience. I took a cab.
क्या हुआ फिर?
Sorry, can I again
It's
start?
okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I took a cab the last Friday. Last Friday through my workplace to the home, and the driver was talking on the phone throughout the driving. I shared this feedback at the end of my trip through the message, and they were least bothered care about it. And the last, I think there are still some people who daily faces this problem.
Okay. Do you think, Vedant Verma, that this is something which the government has? Do you support it? What do you think has happened over here? Obviously, there were problems. Many women
First of all, I think that the only point that everyone over here can agree with is that our sympathy goes out to the girl and her family. But coming to the point where we disagree, I think that the decision of the government is an immature, knee-jerk reaction, which is characteristic of a government or successive governments which don't do enough to stop a menace, which don't regulate enough, which don't remove antiquated laws, which doesn't actually move ahead with the times, and then suddenly in a knee-jerk fashion, when an incident occurs, do something and sidesteps the entire issue, sidesteps their responsibility completely, and they put the entire blame on a company which is actually, as a consumer I speak right now, has revolutionized the life of the youth in Delhi at least.
You're saying radio cabs in general, or
I'm specifically speaking of these web-based cab companies because
they've revolutionized.
Absolutely,
in a positive way.
In a completely positive way. I mean, it's so unfortunate.
RP Singh doesn't agree with you.
Well, he's entitled to his own opinion. You'll allow me mine, of course. But I would say this: that I have friends across the board who don't think twice about going out in the evenings, having a drink,
true.
Come home. Lawyers use it all the time to go for their meetings from court because, parking is a problem and so on and so forth. But apart from that, in a knee-jerk fashion, completely immaturely, the government would, without giving a hearing, without seeing what the problem is, applying a law which is not applicable, passes this order. It's completely arbitrary and illegal.
We're also joined by Kunal Lalani and of the Radio Taxi Association, and I must differentiate for our viewers exactly what's been banned today are the web-based ones. Kunal Lalani, of course, runs the ones like Mega Cabs, Meru Cabs, which are, of course, they also have the call center. And you're dealing with the ones which are under the radio cab notification of the Delhi government, right? Now, do you think, perhaps this ban, do you feel a little responsible that many of the people who were in your industry weren't sticking to the law?
Well, let me put it this way, that there is the directive which has come out today is not a ban. It's just prohibiting any person who does not have a license will not be permitted to apply his services. So the ban was yesterday only by Delhi government. Today the Home Secretary, and we welcome it, that what they've done is they've tried to regulate the whole business. And we know it's come a bit too late, should have come a bit earlier, but it's a big step in the direction. It's not the end. We feel that they'll need to make stricter laws. As most of you may be aware, radio taxis.
But the laws exist, don't they?
Radio taxis, yes. Yeah. Radio taxi, there is a scheme in every city of the country. There is a complete law by itself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these new web-based aggregators, as they call themselves, sort of felt that they were out of the purview of any kind of licensing. Our argument always has been that there has to be a license.
No, I wanted to ask you, as part of the same industry, did you raise these warning signs before?
Yes, certainly.
How?
We have We have addressed it with the Central Tourist Transport Ministry, Delhi Transport Commissioner's Office, Transport Secretary's Office, exactly updating them that these are the fears. An unregulated service can lead to any kind of problems.
Okay, here's one question which I really want to ask, which many are asking right now, that is it really, one of our talking points really is it really that the laws aren't really being able to keep in touch with technology? Do you think what he's saying, part of the thing is that, you know, there's a new kind of technology, new crop comes up, they're also afraid of, you know, competition, so but that's also unregulated. So where does the problem lie? Is it the government which is lagging behind because they're not aware of the technology, or is it the new tech people are also not sticking by the rules?
Well, you know, I was completely taken aback when I read in the paper that a senior official at the transport department said he didn't know what Uber is in a city like Delhi where everyone uses it now. He had no idea what it is. He had to go on the internet. When they heard of the rape, they actually booked an Uber cab, the police officials, to go down to actually see how it works. They didn't know that this entire technology exists. So where's the question of them introducing a regulation? They have to keep up with the times. They have to move along with the changing norms of today.
Not the police though, transport department.
Definitely the transport department, but we cannot absolve the police over here. And I hope there's some inquiry into the character certificate which was issued to that man, which the police is just completely passed off as a forgery. I hope there's an inquiry.
Before we take a break, just a very quick word, Mr. Singh, that do you think these are some of the fears that you raised in your letter to the LG also some months ago?
See, my concern, there are two different issues. One is banning and all this regulation of the taxi. The issue is bigger. Today in city, there is no fear among the e-teaser, the molester, and the people who rape. There's no fear. And there are laws which have been made, there are laws which have been framed, but they will not instill fear in the mind. I have suggested to LG some 3 months back, 21st October, I have suggested to LG, saying that under the women department, Delhi Women Welfare Department, hired some 700 women in city with some marshals, 700 marshals also, and each woman accommodated marshal, it should be used as decoy, and whoever is
I think a lot of these, Mr. Singh, I think a lot of these schemes were actually moved even in 2012. They haven't actually come in. We'll take a short break now, speak more about such suggestions, get in more, and also more women's reactions in just a bit.